Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is Easton Sin here to talk about heavy cranes in construction, heavy civil and highway. So, just to begin, I just want to start with the introduction here. We're talking about cranes, cost, safety, uses of cranes in Texas, maintenance, and just crane related things. So just to start out, cranes are essential for lifting, moving, and placing heavy loads. Um, they're widely used in building infrastructure and industrial projects. Highways, um, high risers, skyscrapers, anything like that. Um, they just make for efficient and faster construction. So they make stuff safer, faster, um, more cost efficient, things like that. So that's kind of the main points of cranes. Um, Next, I want to talk about what types of cranes. We got like mobile cranes, floating cranes, tower cranes, bridge crane, crawler cranes. Got overhead cranes. Anything like that. Anything. Warehouse cranes. There's all sorts of types. Um, and they weigh from about 10 tons to 1,000 tons. There's some for heavy lifting, flat terrain, uneven terrain, anything like that. It varies a lot depending on the project and the terrain. So those are some different types. Next, we'll talk about cost of cranes. So to rent one or purchase one, it's probably 250 grand to several million. That's to purchase it. The rental rate would be 1,000 to 15,000 per day, depending on the capacity of the crane, how much it weighs, the people involved, things like that. So a lot of people will rent them, but they are pretty pricey. Uh, Costs include setup and dismantling, uh, operator and crew. You got to pay the crew, the guys to control it and to move the crane to transport it between from site to site. So yeah, lifting capacity, type of crane, current demand, how long you're renting it for, and where it's at. So it kind of all factors into it. That's cost for you. Next, we're going to talk about safety. OSHA has some crane safety standards. One of them, I wrote it down. It's called 29 CFR 1926 subpart CC. That's if you want to look up OSHA regulations, you just type in 29 CFR, what I just said, and you should be able to find safety regulations on cranes on the OSHA website. Anyways, common hazards of cranes are them tipping over, contact with power lines or any electrical outputs like that, load drops. So if you're lifting any load and it breaks or drops, got to watch for overhead safety. um, and yeah, just anything like that. Running over people could be the simplest thing, the most obvious thing not to do. It's probably happened. So there's all sorts of hazards when it comes with cranes, but some safety measures are having competent certified operators, crane certified. The guy controlling's got to know what to do. So you can't have some guy who's never been in a crane before on a 40 million job. It's not going to work out. So have certified guys, and then have regular inspections. Inspect the crane, find out if it's working, if it needs anything, and if it's missing something, if it has a fault. It's got to fail the inspection, because that can kill someone, that can cause a big safety problem. So inspect the crane, make sure it's good. And another thing is signaling. Having people watch the crane, tell people, to watch out, signal where to go. Having some proper load charts, and just kind of looking into the details of what you're going to pick up or where you're going to go, and making sure it's safe to do so. So that's kind of some safety measures to take there. Next, we got uses of cranes in Texas. We all know Texas is a big, it's a big booming construction zone, especially Austin, Houston, and Dallas. But yeah, cranes are heavily used in Texas. They're used for like oil and gas facilities, mainly I would say highway and bridge construction. Those are probably the main ones. Another main one is skyscraper construction, high riser. So yeah, I'd say highway, bridge, and skyscraper, the big three. And they're probably the most populated in Houston, Dallas, and Austin. So yeah, there's major crane rental companies that operate throughout Texas. There's so many projects you see cranes on. You see cranes every day. But yeah, very, very prominent in the state that we live in. Next, crane maintenance. I won't talk too much, but it kind of ties into safety too. Regular maintenance ensures cranes remain safe and reliable. Just inspect it daily. Wires, hooks, brakes, hydraulics, fluid flushes, anything like that to keep the crane working properly. Lubrication of moving parts, just make sure it's lubricated, the fluids are good. It prevents wear on the crane, which prevents it breaking, which could cause a safety accident. So scheduled servicing helps avoid those and avoid costly breakdowns or lawsuits. So yeah, maintenance records must be kept for safety compliance. All right, yeah, to sum it all up, cranes are vital for lifting heavy objects in construction, heavy lifting. There's a lot of types, many types exist, each suited for a different task. It can be really expensive, cost can be significant, but efficiency and safety gains are critical. Safety remains the most important factor, obviously. And yeah, Texas has extensive crane use in both energy and infrastructure. So yeah, prominent in Texas. But yeah, it's kind of, we touched over all those points a little bit. Yeah, that's basically it. Cranes are great, and they have accelerated the construction industry to a T. Next, I got 3 questions for y'all. One of them, can you name 2 types of cranes used in heavy construction? Not that hard. Number 2, what is one major safety hazard when operating cranes? And number 3, what's an example of how cranes are used in Texas projects? Those are my 3 questions, and that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all very much, and I'm signing out.